There have been a multitude of social media trends in the past few years that have one primary purpose: for the viewer to be satisfied in some way. The way in which these videos accomplish that goal varies wildly, from soap cutting, precise calculations and symmetry, a situation turning out perfectly, or, for the purposes of this video, our vision of perfection can be embodied in one single person. If I were to give you a situation with 3 possible outcomes, the first one is a poor outcome. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. The second outcome is a neutral outcome. Nothing particularly good or bad happened, just another experience like any other in your busy day-to-day. But the final outcome is one that not only met your expectations, but exceeded them in every way, letting you get an abundant amount of helpful takeaways or even some valuables. As people looking at these 3 options, most of you would most likely be inclined to say, option number 3, duh. Not only did this scenario turn out perfectly, but I got so much out of it, it must be a rewarding experience. Well, this type of perfection is what we have most likely all pursued at least one point in our lives. Whether it be in beauty, choosing the right friends to support you and move you forward, in school getting the perfect grades that you want, or picking the perfect job to pursue your dreams. Perfection is a concept that is so foreign to us because as humans, we fundamentally are flawed. We are selfish, tend to lose our temper, and we can be cruel to one another. So whenever we view something as perfect or turning out perfectly, it gives us a sense of escapism from what can often seem as a broken world. This is where I'd like to introduce a manga relating to this concept. I'm going to be spoiling the Oshi manga up to the last 10 or so chapters that have come out as of the recording of this video, so be warned. Also, I would love to come around and add in the analysis from the opening of season 1 to the anime without getting cucked by copyright, because the lyrics and song go so hard and just add to Ai's character so much. Oh, it's so good. Oshi is a manga and anime series that gained wild popularity in 2023 for a number of amazing and not so amazing reasons. One of the reasons that Oshi is so fascinating in my mind is because of one character in particular, Ai Hoshino, who is the figurehead of the entire series. Ai is flashy, unnerving, mysterious, airheaded, and yet extremely in tune with her own emotions. She is a character that on the surface is portrayed as perfect. She has extreme popularity, she's extremely pretty, a rising star that is destined to take over the world. If it were any other series, the detail about her character would just end there. However, in Oshi, it peels back the curtain on Ai. You learn about her past, her insecurities, her aspirations to love. But the information that you learn about Ai is not the whole story. She is very mysterious, almost unnerving at times, essentially changing her personality from bubbly and excited to very monotone and stoic at any moment. Ai is a girl that has, by all means, undergone all sorts of hardship. She was abandoned by her mother, who is a petty criminal, and placed into an orphanage. She is unable to recall any memories of her being loved or wanted by anyone. The only thing that Ai is able to do is lie, and learns that lying to others is the way that she can survive and get by in an incredibly cruel world. Only in a meeting with her future manager, Ichigo Saito, does she begin to convince herself that her lies are a true form of love, and that while she may not feel true love in her heart, she's able to put on a mask of lies and love, and one day, she may learn to feel love in her heart as well. It is after Ai gets recruited that she is sent to an acting troupe to learn how to act that she meets a love interest and has her entire outward appearance changed, as not only does she become a much more animated person, but also becomes pregnant with twins. In the current moment in the story, many details about Ai and this love interest are still unknown. As for what we do know, Ai gives birth to her twins in secret, raising them with her business partners whenever she can spare the time. Ai then returns back into the idol industry and becomes a rising star, being noted all across Japan. Now, I do not have the knowledge nor competence to be able to talk about the Japanese idol industry in depth, because it has a lot of information on it, and a lot of it is problematic.
まあそれをどんどんアイドルに使い出しちゃったっていっぱいお金使っちゃったことですかね。
However, what I can speak on is the fact that the idol industry is something that is not unique to Japan, but Japan's idol industry is the most infamous for its depictions. In the Japanese idol industry, you are marketing yourself to a broad audience of people as an entertainer. The most popular form of entertainer is being a singer as part of a group. While the entertainment you produce is important, the most important, as with all entertainment industries, is your image and how to market yourself. To be an idol in the entertainment industry, you need to be beyond just being cautious with your actions and words. You must be perfect. Oshi goes into great detail about marketing, etiquette, and performance of not only how to maintain a successful career in the idol industry, but how to maintain the image of perfection to your fans. Now, many of you may be thinking, That seems a bit excessive. Having to be perfect all the time is unmanageable after all. Is that even necessary? Celebrities all over the world make mistakes all the time, and their careers aren't always ruined. Well, you are partially correct, but it all depends on how the industry they're in frames them and what the audience expects from them. Take Keanu Reeves, for example. He is seen by a number of people as a very kind man. This perception comes from people seeing him outside of his work, doing caring acts, and any time he is being interviewed, he is very relaxed and pretty relatable to the average person.
What is your secret for always staying down to earth? Well, I mean, gravity.
However, this perception that a celebrity is given must be built up as a result of good word of mouth, plus making art that is respected by many people. I'm not saying that Keanu Reeves is anything less than a good man. I personally am a big fan of the guy. I'm just pointing out why people view celebrities the way that they do. However, celebrities can very often seem untouchable and out of reach to us. Take the Kardashians, for example. They are seen throughout America as both a laughingstock and fascinating for how out of touch and detached from reality they are.
Get your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
That's so true. So I am launching my own makeup brand.
But one of beauty's most popular ingredients has a dark side. When children are the hidden cost in our cosmetics.
Get your fucking ass up and work.
The Kardashians are so beyond what most people would call relatable that many people have a strong distaste for them and their popularity. Because of how unrelatable and overall unlikable they are to a good chunk of their audience, they are very divisive. With all of that in mind, we know that the most popular celebrities gained favor from people for being relatable to their own struggles, while also having a very high level of talent that would gain the respect of most people. The Japanese idol industry by design seeks out to fulfill these requirements by giving primarily girls a platform to showcase their talents and attractiveness, while also having them do things such as meet and greets and television appearances to make them seem down to earth and humble to their fans. And in Oshi, Ai performs these same strategies, appearing on television and selling out concerts, all for the purpose of building her perception as someone who is relatable enough to support, but also someone who is out of reach and desirable because of her talent and appearance, someone who is built up to be perfect. The way that Ai is drawn in the manga depicts her as almost otherworldly, having stars in both of her eyes and such vibrant hair and clothing that she seems like she is an alien, someone who has arrived on Earth, and you are just in awe that they exist. To drive home Ai's depiction of being perfect, Serena is a character introduced into the story very early on, and she is a little girl that is infatuated with Ai and wants nothing more than to be just like her, but she has a chronic illness and is indefinitely hospitalized. In Serena's eyes, Ai is her idol, someone who she is inspired by and wants to be an idol like her in the future, and she becomes a massive fan of Ai and sees her public image as how it was built to seem. Perfect. It is after the twins are born that we get more behind-the-scenes information on Ai, and how even after having children, she feels like she is still lying when she tells them that she loves them. It also highlights some of her fans criticizing her mask of bubbliness, only for her mask to break off whenever she is at one of her shows, and she notices her children in the audience, cracking what can be seen as a genuine smile for what could possibly be the first time for her audience. Now let's get into Ai's most infamous scene in the whole series. There are many drawbacks as a person of interest if you would like to be seen in a light of perfection. One of which is having to separate your social life away from your fans because any slight crack in the carefully calculated mask that is built up can cause the end of one's career. In Ai's case, it is made very clear that she declares her love from her fans through lies, believing that lies are the greatest form of love that she can offer. Therefore, in order to maintain this image, all relations she has had with men, and especially her having children, are meticulously kept secret to preserve her image. However, Ai comes into contact with the father of her children, wanting them to meet him, but this turns out to be a fatal mistake as he relays her address to a deranged fan, and she is fatally wounded in her own home. It is at this moment that Ai has the realization that she truly does love her children, and that she is capable of love. She wants to be able to have more time with her children now that she realizes that she truly loves them and is capable of loving. And in true fashion with Ai as a character, the panel where she breathes her last breath is one of the most eerie panels in the whole series, her eyes devoid of all the light that the stars provided. Ai is a character that has captured my attention since the moment she appeared in the story, crashing onto the scene as this stunning beacon of light, but the series quickly takes it all down as it brings reality into her and the idol industry as a whole. I have just scratched the surface when it comes to the greater analysis of the whole series. Oshinoko talks about the idol industry, the film industry, social media as an industry, reality TV, and so much more, and with such care and accuracy that it stands out as a shining example amongst its peers as something truly special. The art of perfection is something that is a very real element in the real world, and using Ai as Oshinoko's depiction of it not only makes the series an incredible standout for me, but makes Ai one of my favorite characters in recent memory, and the manga only keeps improving her character as time goes on. With all of the discussion that Oshinoko has about lies, perfection, love, fake love, The series holds strong the message that while hope can be dim with all the lies, deceit, and perception, that perfection is merely a human facade, and that the true star and power we have in the world is love. Thanks everyone for watching this video. It's a bit different from my previous video game content, but I'm trying to make this channel just like sort of variety thing, talk about whatever I'm able to talk about without any boundaries. I have a lot of interests and I'm hoping to share them all with you. So yeah, this is just the beginning for me. I'm just starting to get serious on YouTube, so I hope you guys stick around for the journey, subscribe, like, all that stuff, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Later.